today's focus is just to recap speed, distance, and time calculations, and then we'll be doing some conversions revision. Okay, so I just want to finish off what we started on Monday, or in Monday's lesson. We looked at the speed, distance, and time calculations. I did say on Monday that you should know these off by heart because sometimes they could give you the incorrect formula in the test, and you need to know how to either substitute or rearrange the formula, or if you just know them off by heart, it's easy. Just get the correct formula. Okay, then the other key things that I mentioned about speed, distance, and time is that distance always needs to be in kilometers in order to use this formula. Time needs to be in hours only. So quite often they'll give you the time in hours and minutes, or just minutes, and you need to do a conversion. So time needs to be in hours only in order to use the formula, and speed is measured in kilometers per hour. So the key thing to remember, and this is where they try to trick you, is with time. So please take notes of that. Okay, so just to see if we remember how it went on Monday, I'm going to ask you guys to quickly try question 1 for me. It says the distance from Sydney to Gold Coast is 843 kilometers. It takes 9 hours and 30 minutes to travel this distance. Calculate the average speed of this trip. Okay, I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes to quickly complete that for me, please. If you have any questions, please raise your hand or ask us in the chat. Hey guys, if we have an answer, let me see it on the chat. Calculate the average speed of the trip. What did we get? Yes, couple, well done. Okay, now I'm seeing all the answers flying in. Awesome, guys. Okay, take it the time conversion went really well. So just quickly, remember when you see one of these questions, always highlight the important things. So we have a distance given to us. Sorry. We've got time. As we can see, there's minutes involved. So there's definitely going to be a conversion. And what we are working out, which is speed. Okay, so our distance is 843 kilometers. Time, 9 hours, 30 minutes. If you had to convert that to hours only, it's going to give you 9,5 hours. All you do is take the 30 minutes and divide by 60. And then we're working out speed. So speed is equal to sorry, distance over time. So that gives us 843 over 9,5, which indeed gives us 88,74 kilometers per hour. Don't forget 2 decimal places and our unit. And looks like most of us got that without any issues. Okay, let's have a look at question 2. Last little recap on speed, distance, and time. A driver traveling at an average speed of 100 kilometers per hour left Durban at 1:30 and arrived at 7:30 in Johannesburg. Calculate the distance traveled. So that's all. No problem. I hope that you were able to maybe check out the lesson later on once it's on the website or on YouTube. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. I hope you have a good evening. Hey, once you guys have an answer, let me see them in the chat. I think this is a nice, easy one, hopefully. Nice, Cabo. Yes, Ben. Any other answers? Okay, so let's have a look at this question. A driver traveling at an average speed. So we've been given speed in our question. Left Durban at 1:30 and arrived at 7:30 in the evening in Johannesburg. Calculate the distance traveled. Okay, so we have been given speed. Time we've been given, however, we need to work out the amount of hours traveled. So 1930 minus 1 or 1330 gives us 7. Apologies, 6 hours. Okay, and distance is what we need to work out. So distance is equal to speed times time. So 100 times by 6 hours gives us 600 kilometers. And there we go. Nice, Amo, nice, Naledi, Ben, and Khabo. Well done, guys. Okay, so how are we feeling about speed, distance, time? Still feeling good? Everyone happy? Do you understand it? Thumbs up, smiley face. How would you feel if you got one of these in your exam at the end of the year? Just okay, Oratile. So it's really, really important that we know how to do our time conversions and how to work with time with these questions, because that's where they try and trick us the most. Okay, distance and speed is pretty much, it is what it is. Awesome, some smiley faces and thumbs up. Great, guys. Okay, so that was just a little recap of what we did on Monday, just to check that we remembered everything. Now we're going to look at some other conversions. So we were looking at time conversions not so long ago. Now we're going to look at the other conversions that we should know. These are the conversions that we need to know off by heart. Okay, so the first one we're looking at is units of length and distance. So we need to know how to go from millimeters to meters, for example, centimeters to kilometers. And we need to know these conversions off by heart, like I said. Might be a good moment to quickly take a screenshot of this. So you have this. Okay, this is probably the one diagram you really need to focus on, because as you can see, the calculation changes between the units. It's divide by 10 or divide by 100 or divide by 1,000. So it's 10, 100,000, whereas all the other units, so when we look at units of mass, units of volume, we always either timesing or dividing by 1,000. This is the only diagram where it changes. So as we go up in the units, we actually add a 0 to our conversion. Okay. So just quickly, if I was going from millimeters to kilometers, for example, so here's my millimeters and I want to go all the way to kilometers, I follow the arrows this way. So I would take my number. So let's say, for example, I want to convert 12 million millimeters to kilometers. You can either say 12 million, divide by 10, divide by 100, divide by 1,000, or you can just count the zeros. So we jump in 3 steps, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. So then I say divide by 1 million. That's just a shortcut that you could use. But you could say 12 million divide by 10, get your answer. Divide by 100, divide by 1,000. But a shorter method is just count the zeros and you divide by that. So 12 million divided by a million would give you 12 kilometers. And that's just a quick little example to show you how we use this diagram. Okay, Kia, just quickly, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. I'll just tell Maria what to do to her screen.
Okay, Masejo also has sent me a message saying that they cannot see the screen. A direct message. Would you also be able to help?
Yes.
Masejo? Thank you. If anyone else can't see the screen, please let Kia know. Okay, so that's just one little example on how to use this diagram. Various ways you can learn this. This diagram works really nicely for me, and I find it quite popular in my classroom. But if you don't like this diagram, you don't have to learn your conversions this way. Okay, so looking at this diagram, I'm going to ask you guys to complete these 2 questions for me. From activity 1, question 1 and 2. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to please do those. Here has messaged in the chat. If you're struggling to see my screen, got an option on how to fix that potentially. Let us know if it does not work. Perfect. Thanks, Maseko, for letting us know. Okay, guys, question 1. A marathon race covers a distance of 42,195 kilometers. How many meters is this equivalent to, and what did we get? Okay. Nice. Don't forget the unit in your answer. Okay, so we are going from kilometers to meters. So if I'm looking at my diagram at the top here, going from kilometers to meters, so I'm following this arrow. So I'm taking my number and I'm timesing by 1,000. So it's 42,195 times by 1,000 gives you 42,195 meters. Whenever you need to do a conversion, you have to show working out. You need to show how you did that conversion. Doesn't matter what kind of question you're looking at, always show your conversion, whether it's maps and scale, whether you're working out perimeter and area. When you have to do a conversion, dividing by 10, timesing by 100, show that step because you always get a conversion mark. Okay, well done. And then question 2, the average length of a football field is 100 meters. How many centimeters is that equal to? What did we get? Meters to centimeters. So if I'm looking at my diagram, according to the diagram, we need to times by 100. So let me quickly check the answers here. Okay, good. So it's 100 times by 100, which gives us 10,000 centimeters. Fantastic. Make sure, you remember all the zeros and your units. Fantastic. Okay, last 3 when it comes to length and distance. Quickly do those 3 questions for me. Hey guys, it's been really quiet. So I've given you a few minutes to warm up. Is there anyone willing to unmute and let me know how they worked out question 3 and what answer they got? It'd be really nice to hear someone's voice other than my own. Nice, easy conversion. Do we have any takers?
Come on, guys. We're cool people. I always tell you this.
Where's Ben? Vanessa? Amor, you guys answer lots. Who else?
I'd like to hear Khabo's voice.
Also has answered before. Khabo, yes. Oh, yes. And you've also answered before. Apologies.
Just look on your there we go.
So I said 330 meters divided by 1,000 equals 0.33 kilometers.
Well done. Thanks so much. Fantastic. And so lovely to hear your voice. Question 4, a car is traveling at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. How many meters does it cover in 30 minutes? Do we have any takers with this one? Anybody? I can Amo, yes. Hi.
Just look for a pop-up on your screen.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, how are you, Amo?
Good on you. I said 80 times 1,000, which is 80,000 meters.
80,000 meters. Okay, and is that all you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Amo, you're halfway there. This is correct so far. So you have converted the 80 kilometers per hour, you've converted to meters. So that's how many meters per hour. They want to know how many meters is covered in 30 minutes. So now that we know how much is covered in 1 hour, how can we work out in half an hour?
I think we're gonna say times 60.
We're going to halve the distance. How can we halve the distance? So we're going to divide, right?
Yes, ma'am. Divide by 6.
No, we're going to divide by 2. So it's not a time conversion. I'm just halving the distance. Okay. Fantastic. Thanks so much, Amor. Okay, so I know that one was a little bit tricky because there was 2 parts to it. So cars traveling 80 kilometers per hour. How many meters does it cover in 30 minutes? So I first converted the kilometers to meters. So it's 80,000 meters per hour. But they want to know how many meters it covered in 30 minutes. So I divided it by 2. Okay. And I see Ben has raised his hand. Ben.
Then just look for a pop-up. There we go.
Hello.
Hi, Ben.
My answer, I said 25 times 1,000.
25 times 1,000. Fantastic.
25,000.
25,000 milliliters. Thanks, Ben. Good to hear from you. Okay, guys. Alternatively, again, you could have said 25 times by 100 times by 10. If you wanted to do it that way, if that makes more sense, because we're going from 2 steps, 100 and 10. Okay, and I see I wrote the wrong unit here. Apologies, guys. Just let me quickly change that. 25,000 millimeters. Okay, So those are units of length and distance, centimeters, millimeters, kilometers, etc. Now we're going to look at units of mass. So that is our grams, milligrams, tons, kilograms, etc. And again, the famous little diagram. This one is slightly easier. As long as you know the order of the units, it's 1,000 between each of them. So you need to know when you're dividing or when you're timesing by 1,000. So I always start from the smallest unit to the biggest unit. If you're going from small to the bigger unit, you divide. Small to big, you divide. And my advice is learn one way and then know that the other ways is going to be the opposite. So if you're going from small to big, you divide. And then you know if you're going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, you are going to times. Okay, so looking at this diagram, I'm going to ask you guys to try the next couple of conversions for me, please. Let's do the first two. If you need help, let us know in the chat.
And also don't forget to take a screenshot of the diagram so that you always have it.
Okay, guys. Anyone wanting to unmute and let us know how they did question 1? Doing a kilograms to grams conversion. How did you do it and what did you get? Vanessa, yay!
I said 2 times 1,000, which is 2,000 grams.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Well done. Thanks, Vanessa. And question 2, do we have any takers? A newborn baby weighs 3,500 grams. How much does this baby weigh in milligrams? Vanessa, is that you that raised your hand again?
It might just be from the previous time.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it was.
Anybody else? Oh,
Cabo,
Cabo.
yes.
I said 3,500 times 1,000, which equals 3,500,000 milligrams.
Well done. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay. 3,500,000 milligrams. Thanks, Cabo. Okay, guys, then we've got another, few more questions. Okay, apologies, there is more. Okay, let's start with these 4 though. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to quickly do these conversions for me, please. If you need help, let us know in the chat. But I think you guys have really got this down, which is fantastic because conversions pop up in quite a few topics in your paper too. Yeah, I have squeezed the last question onto the screen so we can finish. Okay, do we have any takers for question 3? A bottle of water has a mass of 420 grams. Convert this weight to kilograms. Vanessa.
Okay.
I said 420 times 1,000, which is 420,000 kilograms.
420. Okay, just 2 seconds. We're going from grams to kilograms. Why is this following now? Grams to kilograms. So are we not dividing by 1,000? Hey, Vanessa? You still there?
Her mic is off. I'll just ask her to unmute.
Oh, it's fine. So just a correction, 400 grams to kilograms, we are dividing by 1,000. So the other way around, so that gives us 0.42 kilograms. Any chance you want to try question 4, Vanessa? Okay, I'm not sure what's happening there. Ben, let's hear from you. Question 4, a box of chocolates weigh 250 grams. How many milligrams is this equal to?
I said y equals to 250,000 milligrams.
250,000. Okay, perfect. So you said 250 times by 1,000. You get an answer of 250,000 milligrams. Well done. Thanks, Ben. Okay. Question 5. Any takers? Anyone wanting to answer this question?
Going once, twice, 3 times.
Yeah, the superstar.
We have a taker.
I said 2,300 divided by 1,000 equals 2.3 times.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks, Cabo. And then, guys, I changed things up a little bit with questions 6 and 7. Went back to distance. The distance between 2 towns are 7,850,000 centimeters. Convert this distance to kilometers. Ben, yes. What did you do and what did you answer?
I said 7,850,000 divided by 100,000, which equals to 78.5 kilometers.
Fantastic. Well done. That's impressive. We tend to forget this conversion, and this is a very common conversion when it comes to map work, going between centimeters and kilometers. Thank you, Ben. Any chance you want to do question 7 while you're at it?
I said 14,7 times by 1,000, which equals to 14,700.
Did you say times by? Sorry?
1,000.
1,000. We're going to millimeters. Yeah.
Times by 1,000,000.
Million. Fantastic. Okay, so that's from the one side of the diagram all the way to the other. So then that gives you
14,700,000.
well done. Millimeters. Thanks so much, Ben. Well done. Thanks, guys, for participating in that little exercise. That was great. Okay, so like I said, questions 6 and 7, very common conversions when it comes to map work and scale, because we often go from millimeters to kilometers or centimeters to kilometers. Okay, and everything went really well with the math. Please let us know in the chat if there's a question you understand, or raise your hand if you would like. Okay, and then the third set of conversions we're looking at is units of volume. Okay, so we've got our milliliters, liters, and kiloliters. That always rings a bell when it comes to water tariffs. But again, a nice, simple, easy diagram or conversion. It's divide by 1,000 or times by 1,000. So it's 1,000 units between each of them. Going from small to big, we divide by 1,000. The big unit to the smaller unit, we times. So same as the previous diagram. Okay, so just like before, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to please do these 4 questions for me. I'm just going to quickly go up. Sorry, if you want to take a screenshot quickly. Hey, it's just 4 questions for this. Okay, guys. The chat is open if you would like to answer question 1. If you've finished, a swimming pool has a capacity of 500,000 liters. What is this capacity in kiloliters? Let us see those answers. So I can hear from everyone this time around. Fantastic. We all got 500 kiloliters. So we just took the 500,000. We divide by 1,000, which gives us 500 kiloliters. Fantastic, everyone. Question 2. What did we get? A jug can hold 2,4 liters of liquid. Convert this capacity to milliliters. Nice. Good. Awesome. Okay, so 2,4 times by 1,000, and I see everyone's got the correct answer of 2,400 milliliters. Well done, everyone. And then question 3. A bottle of Coke Zero contains 500 milliliters. How many liters is that equal to? Good. So this time we are going from small to big. Okay, cool. We're all getting the same answer. So we are dividing this time around, which gives you 0,5 liters. And the last one, a small jacuzzi can hold 20 kiloliters of water. How much is this in milliliters? Oh, look at you guys, fantastic. I love the separators and the spaces between all those zeros. Okay, so we take our 20 kiloliters and we times by 1 million. 20 million milliliters. Fantastic. Good. Okay, amazing. All right, so we've looked at time, we've looked at distance and length, we've looked at volume, we've looked at mass conversions, and now we're going to be looking at cooking conversions, the last type of conversions we're focusing on today. So every now and then you might be looking at a recipe in an exam or something to do with the recipe and cooking measurements, and we need to know these measurements on the screen off by heart. Sometimes they can give it to you, but sometimes they won't. So it's really important that you know that 1 cup equals 250 milliliters and how to convert. So if I say a recipe needs 3 cups, so you would say 3 times by 250 to convert to milliliters. Okay, it's important also to know the size of a tablespoon and a teaspoon. Half a cup's easy to remember because you can just say 250 divided by 2, which will give you your 125. So please take a screenshot so you've got these and make sure that you know them. Because again, easy marks. Okay, so let's try these conversions. Got question 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to ask you guys to quickly try those on your own for me, and we'll go through them.
Teacher Monique, can you please go back to the conversion table?
Sure.
Everyone, please just screenshot it.
Okay, I see that we've got some answers coming through. What did we get for question 1? Some have got 500 mils. Yep. Sejo, amo, awesome. Okay, so that's just 2 times 250. Why? Plus 500 mils. Question 2. 3 tablespoons of olive oil is what in milliliters? Fantastic. Okay, so 3 tablespoons. A tablespoon is 15. So it is 45 milliliters. 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. How many milliliters is that equivalent to? Good. You can see the right answer coming through already. 4 times by 5 mils, which gives you a total of 20. Good. Okay. Let's move on to the last 3 questions. Question 6 is a little bit longer. So we'll move up to that. Now let's quickly do question 4 and 5. Once you have your answers for question 4, drop them in the chat. 1.5 cups of flour converted to milliliters gives us okay, so we're specifically looking at 1.5 cups. So remember, 1 cup is 250 milliliters plus 1/2 cup, which is 125 milliliters. So that gives you a total of 375 milliliters, which I see we got for the most part, yes. Okay, so 1.5 cups. So we add in 1 cup to 1/2 cup. Okay, because I see some of us missed that part. Okay, question 5. Chanel puts 2 tablespoons of sugar into her coffee every morning. How many milliliters is that equal to? 2 tablespoons equal to 2 times 15 mils, which is indeed 30. Well done, everyone. Okay, fantastic. Let's have a look at question 6. So this is actually a past paper question from last year that incorporates quite a few of the basic calculations we've done over the last 3 weeks. So let's have a look. It says, Unati will bake a cake for her dad. Table 1 below shows the main ingredients for the cake. So we've got a flour, milk, baking powder, butter, and strawberry puree. And we've got milliliters and grams as our units. First question, convert 750 milliliters to liters. How are we going to do that? 750 mils to liters. What do we get? Nice, Ben. That was super fast. Well done. Fiso, nice. Ortile, great. Okay, so we're taking our 750 mils. We divide by 1,000, going from small to big. So that gives us 0.75 liters. Good stuff. All right, question 6b. Write down the ratio of flour to butter in a simplified form. So remember how I showed you to simplify ratios in your calculator? Nice, Ben. But yeah, okay, that's fine. Nice, Naledi. So when making a ratio, you always follow the order that's mentioned in the question. So they mention flour first, then butter. So in your ratio, it will be flour is 2, the butter, flour is 375, and butter is 250. Now, if you're struggling to find a number that goes into both, to simplify this, remember I said you could put this in your calculator. The left-hand side of your ratio is always the top of your fraction. Okay, and then you put the 250 at the bottom and you literally press equals and it'll give you 3/2, and then you put that back into ratio form. The top is always on the left-hand side. 3:2, and that is your simplified ratio. So you put it in the correct order, put in your calculator as a fraction, press equals, you get the simplified version, and you put it back into ratio form. Okay, I hope you remember doing this a couple lessons back. If you need me to re-explain, please let me know. If not, have a look at the last question for this evening, question 6C. Strawberry puree is sold in 450-gram tins. Calculate the number of 30-gram portions of puree that can be obtained from a 450-gram tin. Yes, I'm going to give you guys a minute to quickly work that one out for me. How many 30-gram portions can I get out of that big tin of puree? Fantastic. Glad we all picked up that we were dividing. So we take the size of the tin. We divide by 30 grams, which gives us 15 portions. Okay. And that is that. That is the lesson done. That is this course done, guys. You did really, really well with the basic calculations and the calculator work and everything. I'm so proud of you guys. How do you feel about your basic calculations? Do you feel confident? Happy? Anything that you think you need to work on still? Or just happy smiles all around? Let me know. Nice. So that does mean that it is time for the quiz. Kia is going to drop the link. She just did in the chat. Please make sure you click on that. Please try it. It really is a good gauge to see if you need to work on your conversions and speed, distance, time. I'm okay. I will do that now for you. And yeah, just to see where you're at. And if you're fine with the topic and you can maybe focus on something else. Guys, thank you so much for joining this lesson. Good luck for the quiz. Have a good rest of your holidays. Yeah, have a good week and a good evening. Good luck with the quiz. And then, Amo, you have asked me to explain the last question. So we're looking at the strawberry puree. So they are sold in big 450-gram tins. Okay. And then as you can see in the recipe, they only need 30 grams. So now you can only get it in this really big tin, but you only need 30 grams for this cake. So they just want to know how many cakes I suppose you could make from this 450 gram tin. So I'm taking the 450, I'm going to divide by 30 because I want to see how many 30 grams I can get out of that tin. So we divide. We want to see how many times 30 fits into that. So we divide, and that gives us 15. So technically, she could use the strawberry puree for 15 cakes. Hope that makes sense. Amor?